Okay, kids, round two. Let's try this again. We're talking about the best comic books of 2021. I'm sitting in front of a green screen with a green shirt, so it's going to be odd to look at, but what the hell? This is the year I think DC Comics has absolutely lost the plot, to tell you the truth. I think there's one or two we'll talk about tonight that are decent enough. Marvel went off the deep end. They tried to catch themselves, and then I do believe the people who were standing ground, who were saying, guys, don't do this. We're the ones that that were making money for you, that were paying money for the comics. They kind of went in another direction. Marvel said, oh, okay, well, the only people we're hearing from are the people we haven't blocked yet, which are the ones that love the destruction of their characters. And so they continued to destroy them. Over at DC Comics, we saw a few characters getting like that. They don't care about the history. They don't care about the characters themselves. We're seeing so many self inserts into the comics that it's really, really tough to find good comic books from the big two. So I know a lot of people have gone straight to the independent comic books for their best. And you're going to hear a lot about that. I'm not really sure what my favorite comic book of 2021 would be. I don't know. But we'll have to get to that in just a little bit. We're going to go through some categories, same way as we did with the worst last week. So I hope you guys brought your list. And I don't know. It's gonna be kind of rough. We'll see.
Quite a few different writers and artists, and just like books that I'm more getting into this year than I was the previous few years. So, and not just Marvel, DC.
Yeah, because is this because like we were talking about,
Marvel puts out mediocre books. If they are good, but they seem great. Well, actually, I take it back. Some of them are mediocre books. Some of the books are just fantastic, and it's just like, is this Marvel or DC? What is this? And it feels like it's a bait that gets you in there, and then they say, here, you should be reading this. It's like, that's not what I was reading.
Yeah.
So it's weird. But maybe just the ones that get slipped through the crack, just to get new readers in, or I don't know. But I've gone to Dynamite. I was never a Dynamite fan until 2019. I started reading more of that stuff.
Books that are for entertainment.
Yeah.
It's just, like that's one of the things we're seeing. I mean, look, and here's something when it comes to the identity politics and such like that. To me, I'm a hell of a lot more forgiving when it comes to independent comic books, because independent comic books are usually passion projects. If if Vita Ayala wanted to write every character of her own created universe is a homosexual, by all means,
I wouldn't mind that. It's her creation.
It's only when you go, hey, that character that hasn't been that way for 50 years. Guess what? Well, they are now, because as she quoted, I will turn every corner of the DC Comics. That's what she said. If there is any kind of fluidity to it, if there is, like, if that means if somebody's sexuality has never been mentioned in comics before, they're now gay. If somebody has shown friendship to someone of the opposite sex, they are now gay. I've already mentioned with Greg Rucka, you will never see another friendship between two women in comic books. Again, you won't.
Well, not in Marvel or DC, but outside of, as I said, his Lazarus book, where he has to write his own creation, and he has to write it and actually.
Greg Rucka has a lesbian fetish.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with Marvel, DC, but I said outside of that.
But
that's not true.
But you get to the independent comic books. They're writing their own characters. Have fun, and there are some great freaking independent comic books this year. We're going to start the categories and everything before we do. Hello to LK. What's up?
Hello.
And hello to everybody in the chat. I hope you guys brought your ideas for best comic books. I hope you have an idea for what a best comic book is. And we're going to kind of go over some similar categories that we did in the worst, just opposite. Like, what would you consider the most improved comic book creator for the last? You know what? Screw it. Last year. Let's just say last year.
Thing.
Somebody who you weren't really into all that much, but you know what? Not so bad.
It's hard for me because I got a tie. Like there's two writers, and I said, and it's the Kelly Thompson. I said is proved that with Black Widow that she can write. I'm sorry, okay. I'm just saying I didn't like her stuff. I saw what she was doing Captain Marvel, and it's like, holy crap! When she's not on that book, she can write other stuff. Now, guarantee with the whole Spider-Man thing, I don't know who's writing that. There's 4 people on there. They're just slapping names on that book right now.
I'll say, until proven otherwise, it has to be a ghostwriter. Just because everything else I've ever seen from her, I do not believe that is her on Black Widow. My choice right now would be Christos Gage. I mean, he was fine. I saw him kind of like as just an everyman, kind of writer, and of course I know the whole thing of him, being Dan Slott's ghostwriter, for lack of a better term. But I was really impressed, and I'll probably bring this up once or twice again, with his James Bond Agent of Spectre miniseries from Dynamite.
Okay. All right.
Especially after the fact of a couple of just god-awful James Bond miniseries, preceding it. And it was a great story in terms of going back through and Bond, winding up kind of teaming with Blofeld to try and take apart Spectre because of a rival that Blofeld had. It was just a very good, very entertaining 6-issue miniseries.
I'm actually gonna change my vote. My vote's actually gonna be Jed MacKay, because he's proven that he can write a whole bunch. But when he takes on other characters, Black Widow, people are telling me that book sucked when it first came out. When they relaunched it, it actually was really good. And then right now,
Black Cat.
Yes,
Jed MacKay writes Black Cat.
Yeah.
I thought you were just shouting out your name.
No,
he's mixing up Jed MacKay's Black Widow.
Okay.
Black Cat with.
I thought I said Black Cat. My bad.
No, you said Black Widow.
Originally, I said Black Widow. I said Kelly Thompson.
You stole my vote.
Anywho.
All right, so I took his vote. Sorry, I'm bad.
Yeah.
But no, I said Jed MacKay proved that when he did the Infinite crossover, Infinite story, they threw the annuals. When he did the Iron Man story, holy crap! It just felt like you're reading Bob Layton and then Dave Michelin all back then. It was good. Ask Maranya. It was like, it's really hard to find writers who can write Iron Man or allowed to. But yeah. So that's my pick.
Okay.
But I want to bring up though
somebody for this one. What's up?
It was gonna be Jed MacKay, but he just stole it.
I want to say though, does Josh Williamson really count, because he's been great even last year? I don't think he's really improved.
Well, no, for him. I mean, that's
for
a personal.
him.
Yeah, that's a personal tie.
Okay.
So this might be something where he's like, I don't really agree with you there, guy, but for some reason now,
yeah,
Josh Williams is really kicking ass for him. That does happen occasionally.
Oh, Undead Quinn coming in with Stephanie Phillips.
Stephanie Phillips.
Don't watch E's video about that.
Undead Quinn, this is the Spirit Awards, not the Gabbies.
No, well, okay. Let me tell you something. I have discovered, by the way, because I read a couple of miniseries from Stephanie Phillips, and I enjoyed Nuclear Family. I thought that was pretty good, and I read Red Atlas, which I thought was an excellent idea. She has really good ideas, but she doesn't know how to format a comic. She's writing a script. Not only is she writing a script, she's writing basically a 6-issue miniseries is the first maybe 30, 40 minutes of a script. So there's a lot left to go. There are unanswered questions and such like that. I think that Stephanie Phillips has a lot of potential, and I'll give her that much.
You read her A Man Among You, right?
Yeah, I read it. I enjoyed it.
I said I've been really enjoying that.
Continue it after a few issues.
Oh,
but I do like some of her miniseries, and so I'll give her at least that much, that she does show potential. Let's see. We're also getting Nick Spencer. Oh, that's actually one. Nick Spencer.
Retconning.
A lot of people are saying his Spider-Man started getting good again. Let's see. We also have I'm not even.
So we're not doing best writer. We're doing best. We're doing the first category is most improved.
Most improved. These are
so don't get confused.
Somebody who didn't impress you, but now they do.
Or they sucked the beginning of the year and got better.
I'm gonna throw out Mariko Tamaki.
Say again.
Mariko Tamaki
on Detective Comics.
Yeah.
I'd say that too. That actually,
I got to admit, too bad she stained that with the book we were given the Gabbies to last week. With I Am Not Starfire.
Although I am worried though, because DC decided to get rid of Batman on Bruce. So Detective Comics is what basically Gotham without Batman for the next 12 weeks. It's called Shadow the Bat.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. All right. Okay. Some good choices here. Let's move on to the next topic, which would be the same thing. This is a comic book character you never really cared about, but the current team just has you excited all over again. This is a book, but that boom, you're interested in. I do have a team on that, and I do have a character that actually, I got to tell you something. I'm eating a little bit of crow here. I dropped off of Superman because of Brian Michael Bendis. Not interested in Superman anymore. Forget about it. I read the first couple of issues of the new guy. I'm sorry, I forgot his name while I'm talking, but I read the last couple of issues just for the heck of it. I'm like, holy crap, this War World stuff is pretty exciting.
I think it's Phil Kennedy Johnson.
Yeah, Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Okay, so I'm gonna put Superman in that, and just for one miniseries, which will probably show up later while we're talking, Batman. Thanks to the Imposter and the previews, I'm just jazzed for Batman again. But then I read the self-titled book, and I'm like, gosh, this is sad stuff. Anywho, how about you, Venk?
Well, I'm going with Marania. It's Zdarsky. I've read his run on Spider-Man a couple years back.
Mm-hmm.
Before Spencer, I didn't care for it. I think it was Zdarsky that gave us Spider-Man wearing a tuxedo on a date while he's still wearing his costume and mask underneath. And that's where he reveals to Jonah Jameson that he's Spider-Man. I did not care for that run, but Daredevil. He's been great on Daredevil. I mean, do I feel that the whole prison thing was kind of stretched out just a little bit, but overall, you got to look at the whole entire writing compared to the other books. Zdarsky, for me, is just personally knocking out of the park. Cates is kind of like dropping off for me.
Oh, and by the way, John Kent is Superboy. I don't care what they title this book.
But
it's the same way as Ironheart was never Iron Man, even though she was in Iron Man's book. How about you, LK? What's a comic book character that you've got a renewed interest in?
Well, I mean, and it's one that I really wasn't interested in before, and that's going to be Damian Wayne, Robin. Joshua Williamson's Robin has just been a fantastic series. Yeah. I never got into, didn't read the Super Sons, so I don't have that affinity. I always, when I saw him portrayed, he always just looked like a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't really care that much. And just happened to pick up the Robin run. I think partially just because of that whole, introduction of a new character. And just, I mean, even in I think they published either 8 issues right now and an annual. Just the growth that Williamson has had Damian go through, being on, Murder Island or Lazarus Island, whatever you want to call it, has just been fantastic, and just completely, to me, rehabilitated character, made him just really, really interesting. So I'm curious to see once they're done with this whole Lazarus Island arc where he takes him next.
All right. What about you, Black Cat?
It'll have to be Black Widow for me. Like that first because we're doing the entire year according to you. That first volume, what it was happening, and I can't really go much into details because there's spoilers in each issue that I break down. But basically, there's this one page in issue 4 or 5, where you get the idea. They say that something bad happened to her, and just the reaction she has to that. No words were said, but just how the panel was structured. I really like that one. Like, that's one of my favorite moments of comics this year.
Okay. Alrighty, and apparently
I
Sesame
can't
Street,
go.
where you
I
are.
can't go much into details because what happens is a huge spoiler, and what happens after that, like just reactions after that, is another spoiler. So spoilers galore.
Alrighty, cool. Let's see, what else are we getting? Let's see, Justice League Incarnate. That's a brand new title. I don't think they understood the subject on that one. They're still just naming good comics. Okay, we're going from category to category, kids. Keep up.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Well, Comic Book Frog did mention Moon Knight, and that's one that I have been meaning to pick up and start reading because I have heard pretty universal good things about that.
Okay. So here's something. I'm going to combine two into one here. And I just want to know, is there a series, an ongoing series that you find to be underappreciated? Like there's this great book out there that people are just ignoring. And it's like, guys, what the hell? How can you ignore this? How can you ignore this brilliant freaking miniseries or its sequel just because it's about cartoon dogs?
Oh,
Just saying. Yeah, that would be my pick. Now, granted, this really doesn't count because unlike you guys, the people I'm talking to here, everybody else in the world of independent comic book reading has jumped on this. But yeah, this is the one for me. The Stray Dogs is just you're going to hear me mention this one a lot tonight. Why have you guys been so hesitant? I've been pushing Stray Dogs on you for such a while. When I say, hey guys, you should go get Stray Dogs, I'm not talking about the animal. There's no cleanup on this one. Just check this book out. It's awesome.
Well, I guess I don't know if you're going to say, but hello to Nerd New This, Dan.
Hello. How are you?
Everybody else that jumped in, I want to piggyback up what she's saying. Catwoman, I think, has been overlooked by Ram V.
No, too bad it's ending.
I know. Teeny Howard.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'll read the next issue when it comes out.
Fingers crossed, because everybody was saying the same thing. Joel
Jenny Hex. Remember Megs?
Yeah.
Turn the page. Turn the corner.
You never know.
So I'm hoping. I mean,
that next Vita Ayala book may be the new Dark Knight.
I'm dying in the inside, but I'm hoping.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, how about you? Okay, is there a book?
Well, this is one I'm going to be shilling a lot tonight. Common America.
Dun, dun, dun.
Everybody needs to be reading this book.
I don't think you're going to have a hard time shilling that one around these.
I don't know anybody who hasn't read that. Or has read it and said it sucked.
Amongst our group, but I mean, this just needs to be wider. And I mean,
we all agree with that. Yes.
It's drawn by Random.
Go ahead.
It's drawn by Random Asian guy, right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Evil Black Cat. We're sorry he's got to leave now, but Kim,
I just actually got my Volume 4 in Omnibus today, and I sat down and read Volume 4, which is essentially the ending of the first arc. And it's amazing what Mark Pellegrini and Tim Lin have done, because Volume 1 came out, and it was just this kind of nice, sweet story, something we used to get in comic books. It was great. You go through the 4 volumes now of the entire arc, and I mean, this last arc was bittersweet. Just everything you like to see in a comic book story, and I can't wait to see what the redemption arc is going to be in the next, hopefully, coming up soon. Plus too, I mean, they're great guys, and they have created a business plan, that seems to be better than just about any other crowdfunding group out there. You think about what they've done in the last 2 years since they started Common America, that they have now created their own little imprint, and they've got at least, I think, 3 books, I believe, that are starting to come out underneath that iconic comics imprint. But yeah, Volume 4, I think arguably is the best of the 4 so far.
Okay.
I do have a few just a few small books from that. Since Skip Tosh isn't here, he's not feeling well. These are not my votes. He gave me. I asked for a list since he couldn't be here. And for those who are listening right now, if you can't be here, if you have to leave, just leave your list in the comments. Well, or rewatch the video. Leave a comment section.
Love to find out.
Yeah,
what your is,
just a few. He's got Ice Cream Man on there.
Always decent.
What a surprise.
Reckless. For Brubaker. I don't really hear people talk
even
about
around
Brubaker.
these parts. Even though there's what is it? Ash, and you guys do a Ed Brubaker cast.
A Criminal Cast by Skip, Ash on Comics, and Eric Breen.
Cool.
The other one was, I guess, is The Lot by Margaret Bennett.
Don't mention all of them because we're here for a while.
I just got here. Venkman's already trying to end.
I know, right?
End it,
So, how about you, Vile Black Cat?
Didn't I go already?
He did.
I don't care. All right,
He's
Zach,
a random Asian guy.
What's the question? I just got
what
here.
what is an underrated comic book of the last year?
Underrated of the last year?
Yeah, something that you want to shout to the mountaintops. What the hell's with you guys? You should have been reading this all this time.
I'll say I don't know if it's underrated or not. I really like Firepower. That's one
Stray
of the
Dogs, exactly. I agree with you, Zach.
That's one of the indie books. Like, it's one of the few comic books I actually get excited about. Like, whenever my pull list alert comes out and a new Fireproof issues up there, like I get.
No, Zach, I wouldn't say it's underrated. I think just everyone who's smart and is buying it.
That might be it too. That might be. It's the Christopher Nolan of comic books.
All right,
it's Kirkman at his best.
Let me see what everybody else has got here. Miss Soa saying Stray Dogs was pretty good. Let's see. Ron Engletine's been picking a bone to get people to like Stray Dogs. The Lost Boys
good, y'all.
posters got Homnus. Let's see. Echo Lands, which is why I was it says Nerdette, and that's why I was holding up this because I had it right behind me.
Yeah, that's the one that's sideways.
Read that one yet.
I haven't read it, but yeah. Go ahead, Zach.
No, I was gonna say they have it at my LCS. I just hadn't got to pick it up yet.
I haven't read it, but I like the format, the wide book open the reverse, because a lot of times those are still like you have to flip it this way when they're like that. That's actually a whole panel going this way.
Saying Radiant Black. I read the first couple of Radiant Black. Not too shabby. Department of Truth. God bless you, Nerdy Texan account. Nerdy Texan newsstand. God bless you for that. It's just I did not get into Department of Truth. I just couldn't. But I've heard a lot of people like that one. Just I read it and I was like, wow, this is.
That's why it's underrated because you haven't read it yet.
No, I have.
Oh,
it's just I found it to be a bit convoluted. That's all. But if you like it, you like it.
These big words again. Convoluted.
Yeah. I'll toss out one more indie book that it would be great to see more people pick up, and that's Lady Mechanica.
I've heard about Lady Mechanica.
It kind of intrigued me. I actually got it confused initially with another kind of book, and happened to find a trade in one of the discount stores. And just absolutely fell in love with it. And it's basically now completely creator owned. I think the creator is Joe Benvenitez. He just had a crowdfund for issue 1 of the latest volume. And then I think he's going to just be publishing it. I'm not sure if it's going to be through Image again or through a different publisher, but I know that, you'd be able to order it from your local comic book shop. But great story, great character. Again, he's also just kind of like Common America. It's one of those things where it's just slowly kind of building as you're unraveling this mystery of who Lady Mechanica is, and why where she came from, and why were her limbs replaced with mechanical implements. Plus the steampunk stuff is just great too.
Okay. What do you need to say there, Venk? Also, let me point out really quick, Geiger from Mr. DC Comics, and then we're going to move on after you have this last word.
My last book, Snow Angels by Jeff Lemire and drawn by Jacques. You can find it on.
We're talking about a lot of stuff.
I love that book.
I'm glad. Great. We're going over to independent comic books a lot, and that's just the way it's going to be, except for the specific categories.
Although Black Widow was also really good.
So yeah,
Yeah.
UNLK can have that argument after the show because he already did it with.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no! Again, I'm
So-
not saying Black Widow is bad. I'm just saying it's not Kelly Thompson writing it. Maybe her name on the cover, but it's not her.
Someone's ghost
Okay, so
writing.
here's
Hey,
what I want to hear from you. Here's what I want to hear from you. Not a big event crossover with the whole company. One title, one story. What is the best single title ongoing story of this year? The one that has impressed you the most? This might actually be the hardest from me.
Ongoing and contained in one book.
Yeah.
I'll start out. I'll go back to Robin.
Okay.
The entire first arc here of this fight on Murder Island, and he introduced probably the best new call it Batworld character in Flatline.
Flatline? Yeah.
Far more interesting than any of the ones that Tinian came up with. You've had a good Ravager in there. Great story. And I think it's just about finishing up.
Okay.
Yeah, that has been really good. I got into it late, but it has been. I've really enjoyed it.
Do you have a different one, or are you just going to agree with him?
No, I have a different one.
Okay.
I'm actually still thinking about it. That is a good one, but that's not the one I'm going to go with.
The
So
one-
Art, you
can
think?
Go ahead.
I don't know what the name of the title is, but it's right now with the whole Wally West, with the Justice League Dark into the last issue going against Eclipse. So I don't know, but that's probably gonna be a whole turn into a main thing, crossover
Yeah.
event. Well, who knows? Future State's over. So I don't know.
Yeah, okay, prove it.
Well, no, the title and everything's anti-DC guy over here.
Alrighty.
He don't
Vile
get.
Black Cat.
I'm gonna go shout the first storyline from Black Widow again.
Wow, okay. Actually, I enjoyed that as well, but my
Yep.
pick would be this year, Amanda Waller had the Suicide Squad invade the Teen Titan Academy to steal X-Head or whatever his name is.
Red X. Yeah.
Whatever. And that was awesome. I
Skip.
really dug that storyline. Although X-Head ended up being a bit too overpowered. It was like it's almost that he could. It wasn't that he was skilled; he could see the future. Well, I knew because I was trained by the best that you would come down here, and because of his decision to do this, that you would figure out to do that. And it got ridiculous. It got Jeremy Irons playing Sherlock Holmes on Saturday Night Live, guessing all of his Christmas presents bad for a little bit. But the action was good, the art was good, and thankfully the dialogue was good. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm just going to go Suicide Squad because the other one would be when when Waller, you find out that she's been going to different Earths to recruit villains. That way she doesn't have to worry about the laws that she would here, and she finds the crime syndicate. That was a good storyline. I actually think I like that one better than the other one.
Yep, we're doing we're basically doing self-contained stories and self-contained and ongoing
stories. Yep.
like basically anything, like ongoing title that has a self-contained story that's not going to branch out to anything else or
Yeah.
isn't already.
Jim Sorensen saying is the King Shark, and Nerdette is saying G. Wilson's story in Superman Blue and Red. I actually couldn't read that book.
Actually,
Not and not because of that ugly ass variant cover I was showing off. That was a variant cover, by the way. Worst cover of the year. But I can't read it because it hurts my eyes. And that the for some reason I was reading it in the because all it really is just it's colored red and blue all the way through. It was like
I thought you were going to say that the glare coming off of that reflected off your forehead and it was just blinding you.
Well, you need a pair of 3D glasses.
yeah, that might actually work. If I had
school,
those
right?
3D glasses or something. It worked, yeah.
Earth 1 Bat 1 Volume 3, Jeff Johns. Is that from this year?
Earth 1 Batwoman? What?
Batman says, yeah.
Batman Earth 1, the Earth 1 series from way back when that started had Phil Show never went anywhere.
Yeah, we're talking about this year,
Batman
though.
came out.
Yeah.
That's what's
came out this year.
confused.
No, it came out this year.
It did?
We Live was
Yeah.
good and looking forward to the New York.
Like, not a collection.
Yeah, that was last year. But yes, that we
It's
live
not.
was
It's
good.
one trade paperback. It's
Well, yeah,
a
we're not
graphic
talking-
novel. Graphic novel.
But is it
Okay.
collected? Was it collected from other years, like and just put into a
Wow.
collection?
No,
now?
Black
just a
Hammer
single issue
Visions
graphic novel.
number
Oh.
8 was a one shot. Okay, but this is ongoing story. I'm being clear, right?
Yeah, not a
Or
one-shot.
ongoing story.
It's ongoing story basically. That's like the Flash. Like the Flash right now isn't crossing over with anything else. So right now,
Okay,
it's
see-
self-contained.
And an
Okay, like
ongoing
this-
title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a
But
miniseries.
not a mini
Not
Not a
a
miniseries.
miniseries.
So like
Not a-
Blue and
it's really one
Gold.
shot.
Or, yeah.
Th-
I got you.
This is a one shot. We're talking about ongoing series, the best storyline in an ongoing series.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
mine is the one I might have had the most fun with, and this was before all the Jimmy stuff happened. Was Dan Slott's Fantastic Four? They did the Doctor Doom wedding. I did have a lot of fun reading. The
Choose
Dr.
your
Doom
side, Zach. Dan or me? I'm just kidding.
I choose Dan.
Yeah.
He's
Now
nicer.
you had a lot of fun, but was it good?
I have to go back and reread it to see if it was actually good. It's like I have to go back and watch a movie again after the first time. But no, I remember liking it a lot. I had a lot of fun reading it, and that really stands out as far as contained stories and ongoing titles.
Okay. You know what? I want to help everybody out because the next category is best miniseries of the okay, so we could go off damn near everything that's been listed. But,
Tradecraft.
It's all miniseries.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
before we get to that, I just wanted to throw this out to Venk because I know he's the Amazing Spider-Man reader. What about Nick Spencer's final Spidey arc? With that,
It was like I said. I didn't get into it until Breen. When I saw Breen's heart grow 3 sizes because he loved the book so much. I was like, damn, I got to pick this up because it was actually pretty good. Because I read Nick Spencer from the beginning, and I was like, what is this crap? It felt like he was writing 3 storylines, and he kept starting one, pausing that. I'll get back to that 50 issues later.
Oh, he's trying the Chris Claremont thing.
Is that a Claremont thing? Wow.
Only
Oh,
Chris
yeah,
Claremont. Only Chris Claremont can do the Chris Claremont thing.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about Sinister War?
No. Chris Claremont did what he would do is, they would like it would be the Dark Phoenix saga, but right in the middle of the Dark Phoenix saga, there would be a flashback or something, or a flash forward, or there would be a mental image of Cyclops getting his head cut off with a salmon, and then people are like, whoa. Did I just see that? What's going on with the salmon head beheading? And he'll just let that lie for years. And then all of a sudden, what you always wanted, the beheaded salmon story. And, and then in the middle of the beheaded salmon story, he brings up Charles Xavier driving a truck into an elephant. Not over an elephant, but into an elephant where he now lives. And all of a sudden, that's the dangling plot thread. So Chris Claremont would do this for 2 decades, and people were like, "Oh, what's going to happen?" And ultimately, you get Onslaught.
Yeah, the thing with Spencer was like the first 2 issues or 3 issues were like, Boomerang has something on Kingpin. We'll ignore that for Craven's second last hunt.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this crap?
yeah.
And then
let's move this.
And now I want the beheaded salmon story.
But
There you go.
what he's bringing up is the retcon. The retcon was great for the whole original.
Yeah, but you're
There's no
talking
sins
about-
past.
You're still
Gone.
on. You're still on individual. See, you went the opposite direction. I said let's talk about best miniseries.
No, I just want to explain what the whole Breen thing. Why?
Let's go to miniseries now. So let's start with Venkman. Venkman, what do you think is the best miniseries of the year?
Every book is really like 6 issues from Xenoscope, so but it's an ongoing with the annual in the middle.
Okay, basically, yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Everything's like a one shot.
Justice League Odyssey, was that this year?
Nope.
No, that was
No, last year. See, I'm
That was 2019.
all right.
and
Justice
it was
League.
not a miniseries.
I guess I'll
I know,
go with
right?
what was the one that was what's the new
best
Zach would know this.
miniseries of the
Incarnate.
year? Huh.
the one where it's continuing the Justice League animated series? What is that called?
That's Justice League Infinity.
Infinity. That was great.
There you go.
I'm
Okay.
loving that.
All right.
That is a fun one. I would say actually
I'm gonna go Justice League, but it's a different one. It's the Chip Zdarsky Justice League miniseries called Justice League Last Ride.
Okay.
That one's been really. That one was a really good one. I really enjoyed it.
Breen's coming in here. Oh my gosh.
What?
Does he know comics don't exist after 12?
No, he's going back. He's going back like 40, 50 years.
Yeah, he
past.
went back to this came out in 78.
We have to go back, Marty.
Yeah. I will. I got to tell you something. Yeah, I've been touting this, but there is another miniseries that has been kicking all sorts of ass, and since it's been brought up so much, that would be this right here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin. Dude, I like the Ninja Turtles, but I'm more of old school Ninja Turtles fan. I've read the IDWs some, not recently. But I'm not a huge fan. But man, when I read Last Ronin, I'm hooked. It's just pure awesomeness. I love it.
Miss So, miniseries can be 6 or 12 issues as long as it's not ongoing. It keeps going.
Yeah.
And by the way, I do agree with what she said. Aren't they all miniseries these days? We're talking about the ones they planned on making miniseries. Yeah, because I remember they used to do that about 2 or 3 years ago. They'll be like, "Oh, you got to try out our new Captain Marvel series," and then like 3 issues in, when they realize nobody wants to read about Captain Marvel anymore, "Hey, have you tried our new Captain Marvel miniseries? There's only 6 issues. It's up to 3. Only 3 left."
Respectfully, Marania, I disagree. I think the Superman 78 writer is good for what he's doing. I love that series. Batman 89, the last issue started to get a little left of center for me. But I'm still reading it though, so I don't want to just drop off and then not know what happens at the end.
See, it felt that way to me in like issue 2 or issue 3.
Once we introduced the whole Harvey Dent and Two-Face thing, that's when I started getting a little bit, okay, what's going on here?
LK, do you have something to add on to this one?
Yeah, I do. So I'm going to put Amazing Fantasy up there.
Ooh, nice one, good one. And
Yeah,
for Marvel,
it's also going to come up later in a couple of other categories.
Okay.
But I mean, Kari Andrews just absolutely knocked it out of the park in terms of the art is just fantastic. Every page is gorgeous to look
is it
at.
filled with politics like that? What was it? Kinetic?
Oh, erratic?
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, it's more of kind of a timeless story of how to describe it. So I mean, the basic idea is, certain heroes get plucked out of time and get thrown on this island, and then you kind of find out, what's really going on. So there's some revenge things in there, but it ends in a hopeful way. But as I say, I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous to look at. It's one of those where if Marvel comes out with an oversized hardback version of it, so all the panel pages get blown up, I'll buy it immediately just to look at it. I mean, the only other one, again, I'll throw out, as a miniseries, was James Bond: Agent of Spectre. If you love Bond in terms of all different incarnations, it's a great series to pick up.
Okay.
I guess this is a good question. Are you trying to get on Ash's channel? Are you trying to get on there? It's just brown nose and Ash. She's like, I really love
Did Ash like Bond?
What? How so? What?
No, Carrie Andrews. He's a big
Carrie
Carrie Andrews fan, and he's been praising Amazing Fantasy. He's like, it's the best book ever from Marvel. Oh my god!
You brought up erratic. Was that 2021 or not?
That ended in beginning of this year,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
Okay, so
or last year.
Go ahead, go on to Black
Yeah,
Cat.
for me, it's a 3-way tie between Shadegraft, Geiger, and Spider-Man: The Spider's Shadow.
Oh
that
yeah,
was a
yeah, I
good
forgot about that
too.
one. The Venom one, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was the continuation, right? Of the if he still had the black costume.
It's not. It's what if Spider-Man did not give up the Venom symbiote?
Yeah,
Mr. DC's. We got a lot of good books we can come here with.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about Titans.
We got.
well, let me read off some here because Jim
Yeah.
Sorensen is saying Crime Syndicate, which I loved that book. Highly recommend that.
That
Yep.
was a good one. I enjoyed it.
The stream is not the same without Breen. Well, Breen didn't want to be here today. something about football and porn.
And black cats.
Yeah. Let's see. Daredevil is not a miniseries, Tevye. I'm really thinking you're missing the homework assignment.
Oh, I think he means the current one it's on. It only has 2 issues out, and that's Devil's Own.
Okay, Devil's
or Devil, whatever it's called.
Stray Dogs is good, says Leftover Zaggy.
Rise of the Daredevil woman.
Hellfire Gala, ha ha ha, says which by the way wouldn't count because that would be a intercompany crossover.
Titans United though is being brought up. That is a unexpected. If you watch the horrible TV show and go to watch it, it's the same characters, but they're written better.
Okay. Tevye says Challenge of the Super Sons, and
Devil's Reign. Yeah, that was the one. It's talking about. Yeah.
Let's see. Next best tie, Batman 89 and Superman 78 says Maranya, and Eric Breen agrees. Last Ride says Tevye. Let's see. Superman 78 says Mr. DC. Righty. Challenges Super Sons. Last Ronin. TMNT Kick Shell says Indie Comics. Ha ha ha. TMNT Tristan is going to scream in pain. Why? What? Why would you do that? Last Ronin is cool. Wait, she don't like that? See, now she's got to come over on my channel. You know what? I invited. I went to her. She's got to come over here so we could talk about why Last Ronin is awesome, and she could try to say it's not.
I'll jump in. I'll be the Robert Schilling.
Let's see.
Yeah, I saw Jim mention Batman Bigby. So far, so good. I didn't put it on there because I've only read the first 2 issues, and I think only either 2 or maybe 3 have come out so far.
Yeah, I've only read the first one. I need to stop by.
Blue and Gold. That is a great
vinyl from Image says Skip and Tosh. 3 Jokers was last year. Bunny Mask. Great freaking series. That is a very good, freaky kind of horror/romance comic. I'm not kidding. That's exactly what it is. It's a horror romance. If we're made in the 70s, you would have one of those gothic covers of some bunny mask in a wispy nightgown running into a dark mansion.
It's the story of Englefield's life.
I know Mr. DC Comics. I know it's supposed to be a miniseries. Only 1 issue has come out so far, I think, maybe 2. Suicide Squad, Get Joker, left on a great cliffhanger with the Joker actually having the thing that blows up all the neck bombs. Swamp Thing says Leftover Zaggy, as well as Strange Adventures, which you're not going to get much back up here. Let me scroll down and get a couple. I'm way behind here.
Here at Englefield Standard Time, you can take as much time as you want.
I liked Red Sonja. Okay, that's just 1 issue. So heard good things about Lucky Devil, but not sure how many issues it's going to go. Okay,
Batman Bigby's up to issue 4.
Wow, I'm on issue number 2 still.
I don't think you get new books, so how do you know?
I am so far behind. I actually had to just give up some. Like I gave up a pile of books like this. I'm so far behind in my buying. So yeah, I'm done. I mean, I need to buy some to keep up the discounts and all that I get. But all righty, let's go to the next category, which would be best one shot. It's either a single issue story or a one shot comic, something that's impressed you so far.
I gotta look that up.
That is just one book. And I know what it is for me. It's just I actually forgot the title. I sold it on an auction, so I've got to look it up. That is,
I already know mine, so if you need me to buy you some time.
Okay, for those of you who might be able to help me, it's from Aftershock. It was a graphic novel-sized comic. And it was about a guy in prison, a prison guard. Death. 10 Years to Death. 10 Years to Death is what it was called, and it was good. This is a book about, it's kind of like a ghost story almost, where an uncle comes, he's living with his brother's family, and it's told in the perspective of the nephew, and the uncle comes in, and the nephew talks about how he just looked like he needed to talk to somebody, and without even asking, he handed me a beer and he started talking to me, and he tells this ghost story kind of what happened in a prison, and it's riveting. The opening, that whole opening scene where the uncle comes in and the nephew's scared because of what might be told by the uncle, it was just done so well. Yeah, I gotta tell you, that is definitely one to check out.
I'm gonna go back to Brian Hitch and Jeff Johns. This is Stargirl Spring Break Special #1. Came out this year. This just shows that one issue was much better than anything that they're putting out, and it's just miles better in comparison. Jeff Johns is a phenomenal writer, and it sucks that DC does not recognize that or is afraid to put him in there because he won't commit to their values.
Okay, way to.
Well, I'm just saying, it felt like he wrote the Stargirl series back in like 1999. It just felt like it's been like a day since then when he wrote this special.
Yeah,
it was great. You had all the Golden Heroes coming back and everything. It was awesome.
It probably is better than what they're doing with One Star Squadron. And this is what the cover of that. Aaron Douglas, Cliff Richards, 10 Years to Death. Highly recommend it. All right, LK, what about you?
Well, I mean, first off, in terms of mainstream stuff, I'll second what Venk said with the Stargirl, and that I was really hoping that was actually going to lead into a new regular monthly series, because it was just it was so fantastic. It's everything you want. Again, for everything you want from a comic book in terms of just just the feel of it, just understanding the characters and great characters. But I'll go off another slightly beaten path here. The one shot that I'm going to talk about, again, another crowdfunded book, but from some longtime comic book veterans. So this was the Impossible Jones holiday one shot team up. And again, you want a fun book, one that will make you laugh and smile when you're done reading it. This is a great series. Carl Kessel and David Hahn. Carl Kessel wrote, I think, one of the best versions of Harley Quinn when he did that series. And again, I mean, Impossible Jones is a criminal who gets caught in a scientific accident and winds up with these fantastic powers that more or less makes her like Plastic Man. And so now she tries to straddle the being a hero and being a villain, because she did something and people suddenly see her as a hero, but she still has her kind of thief tendencies, and it just is great fun. This is the Dan Jurgens alternate cover. So they're getting some big hitters, and I know you can find it. They have started serializing the first volume that came out last year. Scout Comics is printing it, and I think they printed up to issue #2 now. But so if you want to check it out, there's a cheaper way to check it out. So it's Impossible Jones, Tevia.
Alrighty.
People are saying the Stargirl Spring Break. That was my suggestion for one shot.
I think is your computer talk up against your desk, Ken?
No.
Oh, I just hear every once in a while a little rumbling noise. So just wanted to make sure.
Oh, I'm restless legging it.
I wasn't sure
like, no, what are you talking about? And I realize my legs over here.
Let's look.
Okay, Zach, you have a choice on this one?
Which one? Are we still on one shots?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Stargirl Spring Break Spectacular.
Okay.
One shot that I really
backing me up. Yeah,
that was a good one.
Alrighty, other guy.
Mr. Black Cat, paging.
All right. Was the Ginny Hex thing this year or last year?
Last year.
Yeah.
All right. That's the only one shot that I read this year.
Okay, I do want to give a little shout out to Chilling Adventures in Sorcery. Undead Quinn has picked that one out as well. I thought it was pretty cool. A lot of you guys mentioning the Stargirl, so I guess I got to go and check that out. Fun Girl for Free Comic Book Day was a funny read, says Miss So as well, so check that out. And
The only other thing that came out was a Kill Shot by Rob Liefeld. Did anybody read that? The X-Men X-Force Kill Shot anniversary special.
Alrighty, so other than Mr. Miracle and what would in Static, what would you say is your favorite ongoing series that started in 2021?
Hang on a second.
Flash.
No, I was reading All My Jack.
Flash from Zach. All right, keep going.
Robin.
Were we going the best ongoing DC or anything?
Just
Yeah,
anything,
feel free
I
to
think.
tell us why too. What?
Oh, why? The
Yeah.
Flash with Jeremy Adams has just been, it's Wally West. He's treated heroically the right way.
What?
He's not given the Tom King murderer story. It's uplifting. It's just like a really uplifting book too to read, which is really funny coming from DC these days.
I know,
But,
right? Well, so who's his boyfriend though?
He doesn't have one. He's
Right.
he's a family man. He's got his wife, his
Not
kids. One day he's like, the Speed Force made me gay. I'm waiting for it. But
Skip and Tosh. Okay, guys. Before we get going, the question was, what is your favorite new comic book of 2021? It means it should have started in 2021. All right.
Well, then Flash, this has been going on since 2018. It's not new.
I gotta
It's
say,
been going on since 2016.
I
Yeah,
gotta
but this
say,
is the Jeremy Adams run, though, huh? Wouldn't this be a different run?
Yeah, it would be a different run.
Yeah.
But are we doing the whole year or just the 6 months? So that's my question. Otherwise, Stargirl
No.
doesn't count.
We're doing the whole
Yeah.
year.
Okay, that's what I thought.
yeah.
there
Weirdly
hasn't been
enough,
anything good.
because they renumbered it, this Flash has been going on since 1941.
I'd have to back up Zach though. I've been really enjoying the Flash run. I thought, it was gonna this hop and this jump into a lake of fire after Joshua Williamson left.
Mhm.
But Jeremy Adams has been kicking it, man. And I also found out recently he's a Chuck Norris fan. So awesome.
All righty. Okay, you want to talk
Yeah.
about some more Damian Wayne, or you have another suggestion?
I mean, just to put it, I mean, one other thing too. This is a book that if you have friends or family that read manga and think American comic books are terrible, show them Robin. One thing I like to say about this book is it's like a Shonen Jump book in terms of the protagonist that you have in it. You've got this great story where he sneaks into this death tournament. So you have all the great fighting scenes in it, and you have the growth with the protagonist. It's just great. Especially it's something we should expect from major comic book publishers, and we don't get often enough.
Okay.
The only other series I would throw out there, and it did start in 2021, would be X-Men Legends. The best X-Men book, well, to me, best X-Men book bar none. Because you're getting creators that actually know and care about the characters. And it's fun to see them go back and kind of fill in little gaps and tell stories in between issues in their great runs. So, and at some point in 2022, we're supposed to get the Chris Claremont story.
Okay.
Zach, do you want to reply to that?
Yeah, I did.
We saw it. We all saw it. Let's see. I'm agreeing with Indy Jones, who says one of my favorite this year was Serial by Terry Moore. Great freaking book as a girl chases down a female serial killer across the country. Suicide Squad is another one of my favorites. That's one of the things that DC is really putting out that's good. Miss So saying Made in Korea. Skip Tosh is saying Nita Hawes Nightmare Blog. Riverbottom Nightmare Band. Marika Andolfo's Sweet Paprika says Undead Quinn. And let's see. Hominus put this out here twice, so I guess I should read it now. I won't be surprised if Timeless #1 is Marvel's starting point to reboot or retcon its entire line. I'm calling it right now. So everybody, Hominus, if it happens, we will credit you, sir, as calling it first. I'm going to also say that you're probably the only one who cares enough about it to call it out. I am so losing my care as far as Marvel and DC is going. Let's see. The Joker series has been good. Following Commissioner Gordon and the Joker, says Mr. DC, and I agree with that. Action Comics has not started this year, but let's see. All right, there we go. Let me check out the next category. What do I have for it? Which would be this is an old school category. We hardly ever have this anymore.
What book is Breen reading?
No, best fan interaction.
Dan Slott.
Go yourself, Zach.
That was a joke. It was
No, in all honesty, I've gotten more fun out of the Dan Slott interaction, which I never had. It was all Jimmy. Jimmy had the interaction with him. I just got called a racist homophobe for it.
For a video that you had me out, let's see, Mr. E and Dominic on that stream. And you got called racist for it.
But were your cameras on though?
Well, they're not allowed. They're not white.
Yeah, it's in our contracts apparently.
I'm gonna look at it right now.
I mean, even Black Cat's homeless. Look at he's living in the middle of the street.
I know, right?
He's got the traffic going. He can't afford a decent camera, but he has a mic that barely works.
Right. I know, it's ridiculous. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to
best fan interaction.
Well, we got Jim saying Joe Corolla for his fan interaction. I could go with Tim because he's a friend.
I was gonna say Tim. I'm trying to think of who else I've interacted with.
I mean, we got him on right now, right?
Yeah, I'll throw out Sean Gordon Murphy.
Okay.
I mean, the interviews he's done, with Perch, and he's actually been on his live stream a couple times, and popped into the chat. He just has a good head on his shoulder, and he's also had to deal with a ton of crap over the last year, and the fact that he's been able to keep his head above water. And at the same time, has a new mini, extension of the Murphyverse coming out in 2022. I think says a lot about him.
Mm-hmm.
Almighty Jack is saying Leanne Reeves. That's Keanu's sister.
I can't really decide because I've interacted with a bunch of people through Instagram more than Twitter. Like they're less drama on Twitter or on Instagram than they are on Twitter. I don't know why it is.
I've got a low bar. Don't block me and at least talk to me before you call me a racist homophobe.
I would say the best fan interaction for me is colorist Monica Cabina.
Mm-hmm.
She's been really cool. She responds back within a day or so.
Okay, I don't have a lot of interaction with this guy, but Brian Edward Hill, we disagree politically, and we've talked a couple of times on Twitter. He's never called me racist. Never done anything like that. We've disagreed politically. That's fine. We agree on some fan stuff. I wouldn't mind him having him on the channel at some point in time. I would say him. Yeah. Let's see. Skip Tosh saying Daniel Warren Johnson or Eric Kennedy. And
yeah, if you're on Instagram, check
Doug Ernst. All right, let's move on.
Well, one last one is Jeremy Adams.
I don't know if you got to too, but Jim mentioned Joe Corolla.
Yes,
Joe Corolla's been cool. Yeah,
and he's a chill guy. And again, he's the exact guy. I'm sure we disagree on probably 90% of stuff politically and what have you. But I'd love to have a beer with him and just talk comics.
Mike Barron's great until he ruined it.
This one is going to this one's going to be nice and divisive because I'm sure everybody's going to have their say. And by the way, Venkman, holy hell, you kind of went after old Gary over there for his non-review of Hawkeye. You're like, oh, come on. I mean, that's basically you could have just had a picture of Biden going, come on, man.
He went Bill Barrel's blast him.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. People ask me, have I seen Gary's review? And I've kind of laughed it off, or I'll say something little joking and I'll go, I saw it 5 years ago. And unfortunately that's the case. But what happened was he put up a review for Hawkeye. And this is the problem. This is the problem when you look for this stuff. And trust me, I was that channel. For the longest time. I think one of the reasons why the views are low is because I stopped being that channel, and people are looking for that confirmation. They're looking for that affirmation that their opinion is right, where I would be like, oh, watching how all this sucks. But yeah, and I still talk about the things I don't like in comics, but I love talking about the things I do like in comics as well. I don't want to be just all negative. So when I got to admit, when I did see the announcement, Hawkeye preview coming tomorrow, let me guess, you hated it. That's exactly what I thought. All I saw was Hawkeye review coming, and my first thought was, you hated it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to see the review. You just need to tell me that you have a review. I already understand that you don't like it. And Venkman basically told him all the stuff we talk about Hawkeye here. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the next subject is best TV, best comic book based TV and movie. And I got to say the best TV show for me.
What if?
Is probably, no, I was thinking in the last 6 months, but we expanded it to the year. The best TV show in the last 6 months to me was Hawkeye. Because Lois and or Superman and Lois started at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Hawkeye was the perfect way out. Hawkeye, the show, was exactly what we wish the comics would have been, because Hawkeye was shown dignity, but still had humor. He's 50, gang. He is he's my age.
He's freaking old.
Jeremy Renner is in a hell of a lot better shape than I am, but he is literally my age. And at my age, even when you're keeping yourself in shape, you can't do what you used to be able to do. So they want younger bodies. The movies are different than the comics. So they did a really good passing of the torch story. And they had him the lead character. So and I some of the things I've seen argued, and I'm sure it's going to be, I saw him argue in the little introduction, how Kingpin was punked. No, he wasn't. He was hit by a fucking car and then blown up, and he still walked away.
And shot like square in the chest.
And he's not. Yeah, if you think he's dead, you are. I don't think you've ever read a comic book before.
Read the comics. Yeah, I know.
Right.
The fact that this show was based off a horrible SJW comic book, and they turned it around and made it enjoyable.
Right.
Sorry, Mac Fractions.
That would be my pick.
I love the art on it, but the storytelling is horrible.
Yeah,
it is
not much.
For the best of the year, as far as superhero, I love Superman and Lois. I just finished it off. It's a great show, but I gotta say, I've never read the comic, but it made me want to, and that's Invincible. Invincible for the best TV show.
That's a good one.
That just kicked my ass.
That's really
I'm sorry, sir, but the correct answer is Batwoman.
No, I'm sorry. Get out of here with that.
No, it's tough for me because I love all three of those. Invincible, and I loved Superman and Lois. You know, I love Stargirl even too. There's so many good shows are coming out, and I'll get flack for this. I did like Why the Last Man because it was like the comic books.
No.
Yes.
I'm indifferent.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
By the way, this is almost how our review. This is almost how our review went. He and I were watching it, and he liked it. I did not, and I read the comic too, and I
recently read the comic book, and my gosh, was it so almost spot on?
Well,
they changed the little things, but other than that, like I said,
here's why I didn't like the TV show over the comic. The comic book had pacing. The TV show did not. The comic book had color. The TV show had a blue spot. It was so monochromatic, and it was so boring. But hey, you guys should watch it for yourself. Maybe you'll.
How many episodes did you make it in though?
I think I dropped off at the 4th. I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I'm good. So
you only saw what, a third of it?
I don't care. That's like when people. Look, I'll read a book, and if it's shit, I'll okay, I'm done with it. Well,
but my point being,
5 issues.
No. My point being is a lot of people poo-pooed it because like, oh, it's about left. It's social W. Social W is like, those are people who've never read the book. The book was all about SJW tropes and all that stuff. Making fun of conservatives. That was the whole entire point of the book. It was the worst people and they're left over. Anyway, but I want to say probably, I'm between Invincible and I gotta say Stargirl. It is just great. And I'm not trying to simp. I'm just saying it was cool to see something on the CW that actually was like the comic books.
Did Doom Patrol have a new season this year? Or this past year? Did Doom Patrol have a new
yes,
season?
yes,
really Doom Patrol was out too as well.
But it was very good, by the way. I really did like it. It involved the Brotherhood of Evil, which it was really good to see the French talking gorilla and the brain and all that. They fit, and they kind of went a little bit overboard in a couple of episodes with the ass vampires and everything. But in general, it's a really good show. I love the show, but Invincible was next level shit to me. I gotta say. Ghostbusters
were also released too this year on YouTube, so it's re-released.
Okay. Let's see. Best TV. Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say. I mean, some good choices there. I'll disagree with you on the Kents, as I like to call it. It's not a Superman show. It's the Kents, but
follow me.
We'll talk later. But my top pick, and it actually fits for the second 6 months. I had to take a look because it was on from August to October. Was Stargirl season 2. It was absolutely just fantastic. I mean, beyond the fact of, oh my god, this actually was on the CW.
Really loud. Thank you.
Just the horror elements that were in that show.
Of what show? All I heard was traffic.
Stargirl.
Stargirl. Okay,
the horror elements that were in there.
The horror.
And it just the tension. I mean, casting was fantastic all the way around. But an honorable mention, I saw Tevia mention it, is a show on Netflix, animated show called Super Crooks. It's in an anime style, and I didn't realize until about 3 or 4 episodes into it that it's actually set in the Jupiter's Legacy universe. So it's actually from Mark Millar. And you're kind of seeing the Jupiter's Legacy from a different perspective in terms of, a bunch of kind of low-level crooks with powers, but they always keep screwing up. And it's, they get together to pull off one heist. It's a great, really good, strong cartoon.
Okay. All right.
Or I should say animated. It's not a children's show.
We're getting Young Justice Phantoms from Tevia. Hawkeye is saying, or Maranya is saying, Hawkeye hands down. Next best is Superman, Lois, and Stargirl. Gretsuko out of office is Undead Quinn. Amine, I guess.
Yeah, that's a little anime. Yeah.
Hawkeye is not a bait and switch, by the way. Let's see. Did you Superman and Lois as well as Young Justice and Phantoms being the. Let's see, another grit. Oh, that's the same. Indiana Jones, Indie Comics Jones is saying I can also watch Hawkeye. Couldn't finish WandaVision or Falcon and the Snowman. I get that. And RDV and I, we've had a conversation where he couldn't stand the first episode. Some people didn't like the last episode because she got away with it. I'm not gonna let 10 seconds worth of TV show ruin the rest of it.
It was revealed that she's
more than 10 seconds.
It was revealed that she was related to the Clintons. That's why she got away with it.
Right.
No, I'm trying to think. There was Lock and Key season 2 came out. Did anybody watch that?
No, I haven't seen the new Lock and Key. There's a whole bunch that I had to be reminded. One I want to watch just because I'm sure it's going to be shitty. Do you guys remember that there was an Aquaman cartoon that came out?
I purposely.
I completely forgot. I've got HBO Max, and I was going through it, and I went, "Oh, it's that crap again."
It's the bean face version. Oh God, yeah.
There's so much that came out. There's stuff
exactly.
That
oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot about this. My favorite show is Resident Alien.
No,
that is the comic show that came out this year.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
It's based on a comic book.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk is the alien.
Well, yeah, I know. I've seen a few episodes.
But yeah,
I need to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I would say it right now. Apparently, what they said is pretty much if you read the comic book, they're doing opposite of everything he does in the comic book.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So,
That's
but
one way to
like
go
I
about
said,
it.
it was on Sci-Fi, and Pixel and I reviewed this,
All right.
and I could not believe that it actually was not woke for a Sci-Fi show. You know, it was actually good storytelling.
Yeah, Aquaman roared. That was it. Yeah, I completely forgot that came out. Lock and Key. I enjoyed the first season. I never read the comic, so it was new to me, and I forgot that came out. Resident Alien is a comic book series I never watched. Batwoman is a comic book series I refuse to watch. So yeah, there's a lot out there.
Loki was great too.
Loki was good. I enjoyed Loki.
Loki was good. It was
Loki
okay. It was
terrible.
Loki was entertaining, I will say. So
Nobody-
I guess you got all of it. LK hated it.
Let's
I
put
thought
it
it
this
was
way.
all right.
Probably my review would be similar to what Gary's review of Hawkeye was.
Okay.
I think it actually
Oh, so you
was.
loved it then,
I think
right?
you
You're just
actually
lying to
plagiarized-
people.
I think you just plagiarized Gary's
Hold
review of
on,
it.
hold on. It's one thing to say that he's become monotone in his reviews and such, but don't say he's not sincere about his opinion. Okay, that's personal. Don't get personal with it or no. Let's see. Loki and those time travel cosmology plot holes. There was a lot I liked about Loki, but when I think back on the shows, you know, you have time, the newness kind of sets in. Loki does not make the top of the list as far as Marvel is. It's actually right in the middle there, because the bottom is, for me anyway, is What If and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yes, I'll say it properly at least once. You know, then probably Loki, and then Shang-Chi and the Eternals.
Masters of the Universe.
Yeah. But you know what? That gets us to move on to the one. You know what? We might as well. We're going to agree. This is going to be the easiest. We talked about the TV shows. Best comic book based movie. Really? Are we going to fight about this? Actually, there's two. There's two for me. I don't think we are going to agree on this. But RDV, you want to lead us off there?
Matrix. Let's get it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man No Way Home. Actually, I did not like the first two movies. I thought Tom Holland was probably the worst choice they could have. And I don't know if it was the writing or just the fact that he is just that chipper, and in the morning just want to slap him. No, it's just it actually was a really good story. And yes, people say, well, it is banked on bringing the other characters in, you know, just to boost up ratings, you know, nostalgia, you know.
Okay, you know what? How much would word of mouth just kick the shit out of the box office even if people went back and went, holy Hannah? If they showed nothing but say even the villains, if they only showed the hand and boom, okay. And then they left the reveal that the other Spider-Men are coming back. That still would have. They didn't have to tell us everything. I think that would have created enough.
I personally don't not look at box office numbers. I could care less. If it's a good movie and everybody else hates it, it's good for me. Then I won. I paid and I got my money's worth.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but it renewed my faith in the MCU. I said, wow.
Bad things about Spider-Man.
See, I like. All right, so
Well,
I like
no,
Spider-Man, but for a different opinion. I don't have that feeling because. You know, you say it renews your faith in the MCU. It's not technically an MCU movie. It takes place in the MCU, but it's a Sony movie, not a Disney movie. It's
shared universe as far as the Sony.
But Sony has more of a say of what goes on in that movie, though. Whereas Disney didn't really have that much of a say.
Yes and no. But
they had like this big of a say.
There's 3 more movies, and like I said, the fact that this movie was done so well, the fact that people hey, you know what? Remember, there are other Spider-Man movies. Maybe we can profit off this, where we actually might get other Spider-Man movies outside of the MCU. So you actually, you know, for those who are like, oh, I hated the Sony movies. No, I want to see an older 40-year-old Spider-Man. I want to see Tobey Maguire come back.
Yeah, I want to see Andrew Garfield.
You know,
I think that one of the faults of Spider-Man No Way Home is that it made people think that the Andrew Garfield movies were better than they were. I'm sorry, but it's the same thing.
That's
I'm
personal,
seeing
bro.
with look, I enjoyed.
Right here.
Here's just for those of you who don't know. If I say I enjoyed a movie, I'm not saying it's great. I'm saying that I had fun with it. It's got its flaws. I'm hearing a lot of people say the same thing because the sequel trilogy is so horrible that the prequel trilogy all of a sudden has been elevated in status. Sorry, gang. I watched the movies, and back in the day, I did enjoy them to a certain point, but they're still the same movies. Just because the sequel trilogy sucked worse doesn't mean that they did. And I think that's going on right now. I would love for them to give him another shot, giving him an actual script to work with.
Andrew Garfield all act the other two Spider-Man in that movie.
I teared up. The one scene where he, well, you know what? Spoilers for the two people who didn't see it.
Well, your ears, Maranya.
When he dives at Mary Jane and he catches her.
Michelle Jones.
That whole redemption. It was redemption for him. He's got tears in his eyes. As a matter of fact, when you see him jumping, he's got more fear in his face than Holland did. Holland, I don't know if they meant to do this, but Tom Holland Spider-Man jumps after MJ with the idea that he's going to save her. And we get oh my gosh, I lost the name. I just said it.
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man jumps with the idea that he's going to miss because he already did. He's been through this.
At Gwen, he got flashbacks.
And so when he finally lands, he's in tears. And I was just like, you're crying. And you know, it's just it was such a great freaking scene.
Yeah,
And
but what percentage of the theater wanted her to break her neck?
Probably no one. Because she redeemed herself in the movie.
Probably
That's
have
true.
more gray
This
in their
was-
hair than the average.
This was not the previous two
probably-
Michelle Jones. This was
her
actually.
best. This was
Yeah.
her best movie.
Okay.
It's like they
But-
decided to
but in
make her
all
left.
honesty, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
She started out as Amanda Invincible and became, the one that's in the comic book, the nicer one.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about the Spider-Man RDV. That was your pick for the number one movie of the number one
Comic book movie
of the year.
Yes.
If there is one that's really in the first half, but you want to give some love to something in the second, go on ahead. But LK, what would you say, or are you in agreement?
Well, considering that I'm one of those two people that hasn't seen Spider-Man yet.
Okay, so
and-
that scene that I was talking about did not happen.
Well, I did say take your headphones. You pretend to take them off, but you left them on, so it's on you.
I made that choice, so no worries. And then I haven't seen probably the other one that you guys are going to mention. I'll go with Suicide Squad.
Great freaking flick. I'm
That's a good
glad
one.
someone did it. Just makes sense we can talk about it for a little bit.
Suicide Squad was just ultimately a joy to watch. Yes, there's flaws in it, but the overall execution was great.
It's just a fun movie.
Yeah,
Like, it's so much fun.
the characters were fun. There was the right amount of humor at the right point, which again is what's been lost in the more recent MCU movies.
Yeah.
I like to say the people that they're hiring now for MCU have taken all the wrong lessons from what made the early MCU movies great. And we got to see that on display with James Gunn in doing Suicide Squad. And then too, I got to give credit. The visual effects in Suicide Squad were fantastic. When you get to see the giant Starro at the end, I was locked in. And yeah, I'm sure people can point to flaws, but it didn't matter to me at all.
One of the best effects. I'm pretty sure they animated it CG, but the scene where Harley Quinn is escaping and she's in the hallway with the spear. The spear, she knows there's a destiny with a spear, but she can't figure out what it is. Maybe this is it. And she goes and she's killing all these people with a spear. And the blood becomes flowers and birds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Watch the animation. I know it's on HBO Max, so you can play it again. But watch the animation. At first, the birds are like like a princess dancing around her, but then they see what's going on, and you see the birds try to fly away and get away from Harley Quinn because they're scared. I thought that was one of the best freaking things. Those little elements are just awesome. So
I'm gonna have to go back and check. I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch
and
that.
just to point that out, what I'll say is the difference between what we saw, with the finished version of Suicide Squad. I'm sure probably most people have seen that extended cut of the scene that I think HBO or WB posted on YouTube of Harley meeting the dictator the first time.
That was the funny.
And
talking to the staff.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They cut that the right way. When I saw that extended scene, I was like, okay, it's funny, but it went on so long that it would have ground the movie to the halt.
Yeah.
If the similar thing happened in the MCU, I guarantee you they would have used most, if not all, of that extended scene, because that's the mentality the MCU has right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. You almost think that there must be a scene where Tony Stark is laying there and he dies, and Star-Lord looks at it and goes, "Who's he leaving his money to?" Ha 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 ha. Yeah, they really kind of they did really start to undermine a lot of their dramatic scenes with humor in the Marvel universe. I do like the movies, but there is a bit of homogenization that they need to get rid of in the next few, I think. They're kind of becoming samey to a lot of people. They already have been. Zach, are you in agreement? Is there something else you want to talk about, or?
So Spider-Man obviously is
your big one?
This is the big one, but I would put before Spider-Man, BS before Spider-Man, Snyder Cut.
Well,
Justice League Snyder Cut.
That's my number one. I actually thought about it. And
I mean, that was the big one. That was, it's just this 4-hour epic of what it was supposed to originally be, and fans finally got it. So.
I gotta say, I watched that for 4 hours straight. Didn't have to use the bathroom once, and I didn't fall asleep.
Right?
The thing about about the Snyder Cut, of obviously the fact that we got it at all, that I never thought we would. The fact that, because even though we got it, my thinking was, look, guys, the truth of it is, yes, I want to see the Snyder Cut. But the truth of it is, putting in a few scenes isn't going to change. You can't. You put perfume on a pig; it's still a pig. Oh, how wrong I was, and I'm so happy to be wrong. I mean, it's like, holy shit.
For those who can't join the stream, we're getting Dune brought up here as being a great movie.
We'll talk about that in just a bit, I'm sure. But the thing is I would have cut out all the same scenes. Joss Whedon, or Joss, whatever, he was given the task of cutting this 4-hour movie down to 2 hours. So basically, instead of having all the intricate stories, all the personal stories, he cut it down to big man come to Earth, try to steal boxes, go home.
You know what I've done? Go to our movie. This is part 1. Here's part 2 next week.
Oh, well, hold on just a sec. Yeah, there you go. But so he, in order to get down to big man come Earth, steal boxes, go home, he had to cut out all of the cyborg scenes, because the cyborg scenes they weren't necessary to that particular plot. That being said, that particular plot just added so much to it. The Flash at the end with the time travel, the whole 9 yards, it was so much more badass. And I was saying, I actually told my wife, I said, you know what? One of my favorites, one of the scenes that got me jazzed for Justice League on screen the first time around was when you see Batman fly in and he rolls, and as he's rolling out, he throws batarangs. And I said, you know what? That was quicker in the trailer. I said, they slowed this down. I think they were trying to show, but I think they were trying to show the movements and how badass Batman was. But if they sped it up to, or made, I think it was more effective when he was going fast. But the new edit, the new cut was just so good. So very good. And it's amazing that I've seen it a couple of times now, and ordered the DVD.
I need to find the Blu-ray. I want to.
Yeah, it's on sale on Amazon right now for $15. And my wife gave me a card for Christmas, so I was like, "Yes, here it is."
Tevya, we're doing comic book movies, not manga movies.
There you go.
Big difference.
Let me see.
Like what you like,
You
though.
really want to go there?
No, you don't want
mangas,
to.
Mangas are comic books,
Yeah,
dude.
but
Well,
I saw Comic Book Frog mention one that slipped my mind, but it's excellent. Was Batman: The Long Halloween?
That was a good
That
one.
was very good.
And again, they split it into 2 movies. It could have been a 4-hour movie, but they split it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they had to do for the Snyder cut. But they wanted to have it selfishly all contained once, which ruined it. So when they got it, we finally saw the full cut, everything. We were just blown back. It was a completely different movie. But because the Flash thing, because what happens at the end of this, now they're saying the Flash movie is rumors it's going to erase the whole entire Snyderverse, and they're going to start over with new people, which is kind of dumb because you're saying you're going to get rid of Aquaman, right now, the one that's going out. I call BS on that.
They can get rid of Wonder Woman 84 if they want. I wouldn't care.
Well, no, they're talking about getting rid of half of the Justice League cast. They're going to say that doesn't exist anymore. We're starting over.
They're not. I read that rumor. That's
it's
not going to happen.
No.
Ezra Miller confirmed that's not. Gonna
Yeah,
there's such a push to bring back Cavill, and Cavill's interested.
Dwayne Johnson wants to bring him back for sure.
Yeah.
If you bring him back, though, like I said, the one thing I would undo, he can do is where Cavill's Superman kills Zod. They could just change that, where he actually put Zod in the Phantom Zone, and it completely changed the whole entire. It makes it more uplifting, and he erases the events of Batman vs Superman because I don't need that crap.
You have way more faith in Warner Brothers.
Evil Black Cat, do you have anything to add, or is that the? Are you just in agreement? Oh, okay.
He's working his.
I am background noise. Sorry about that. There was an ambulance going too, so I had to read it. But yes, I am in agreement with either The Long Halloween or Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okie doke.
Honorable mention on that.
Let me get some comments and what everybody else is saying here, and then we'll move on to the next category. Has Spider-Man replaced Superman? I guess is the number one hero, or I think that's been for a while. DC or Warner Brothers, it never misses a chance to shoot themselves in the foot when it comes to their.
That's true. If they decide to go away from the Snyderverse, which is probably the most pushback by fans to get it, when we finally got it and everybody loved it, that's like the whole thing. You can't rush world building. You can't.
Well, I'll tell you something. I wasn't excited about the Snyderverse. I wasn't. He's not. Gosh.
But I'm just saying, it's like it is what it is. Because the fact that the start over again is like the 5th or 6th time they started over.
Well, at the very least, he had a coherent, he understood where he wanted to go. My thinking, though, is Snyder, for being a good this director, a good that director, isn't a good everything director. Shazam doesn't need the same kind of direction that Superman does, and Superman definitely doesn't need to be the new Batman, which is what Man of Steel was. And I actually didn't hate Man of Steel. Thank you very much.
Man of Steel going up to the point where he snaps Zod's neck. I had no problem with it. I was enjoying it.
Anyone notice how much taller Andrew Garfield is compared to Toby and Tom? Yes, we did.
Yes.
He's a tall guy.
Sony has already stated that they're doing Spider-Man 4 with Toby and Venom with Garfield.
I've heard that, but I've never.
They share profits. Basically, there's a gnat that made its way into the room. Basically,
I'm sorry. Get out. I need to leave.
Let's see. Toby is still my favorite Spider-Man. Venom is all stony. Let's see. When you say prequel trilogy, I was confused.
I am scared though for the next trilogy. Are we going to have the Venom Saga? Because they left, so.
Well, isn't there supposed to be a standalone Carnage movie?
Well, that was Venom 2 was the whole Carnage
Almighty
thing.
Jack said, I can't believe no one said Dune. I don't count Dune as a it is a genre. It's a genre movie.
It's not a comic, that was a novel.
No, it started out.
Hey, Google lists it as a comic book movie.
It's a sci-fi movie. Yeah.
We're going by what Google says.
Oh, there you go.
Do that, you're in trouble.
You don't need to see Suicide Squad. You won't miss anything. Forget about. I disagree completely. I disagree with you completely.
You'll never see the Polka Dot Man's mom.
Exactly.
You'll never see that. You need to see that.
Squad 2 was good, says Indy Jones. Mr. DC Comics saying the Snyder Cut. Suicide Squad was awesome. Yeah, there's Godzilla vs. King Kong came out this last year, which I thought was just a ton of fun.
I
really
enjoyed
was.
it. That and
Just-
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat was a ton of fun.
Justice
too.
Society World War II was actually good too for an animated
It
movie.
doesn't get enough mention, but Just Society World War II. You're right about
Yes.
that one. Yes, you're right. And Black Widow sucked.
Not as much as Shang-Chi or the Eternals.
Yes.
I saw
Later,
Shang-Chi
then.
No, it
last
sucked worse than those two.
No, I saw Shang-Chi last week. Black Widow was infinitely better.
I think you're confusing it with the bridge work you're doing.
No, I'm pretty sure that Black Widow was worse. It really was.
Florence Pugh is awesome. Sorry, Elena.
Black Widow was airline worthy.
Didn't you watch it while you were in the airport?
Where are you
Yes,
dropping it out of the airplane?
As I like to say, it's I watched it the best possible way on a tablet on an airplane.
Tim
All right.
knows. Tim knows the score. He knows what's up.
Wow, I'm so.
You know those surround speakers, the big woofers behind your ear when you're in the plane.
That's actually
Okay.
the only way I watched Watchmen was on an airplane. That's the only way you can get me to watch
Let me
Watchmen.
see. There are Dune comics. Okay. It's genre related anyway. Dune is, and it was a really good movie. I did
Yeah.
like Dune.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Dune was
great
excellent, but it's not a comic book movie.
And Yelena Belova was great. I agree with Tim on that.
Yelena,
Yes, that's what I said. Yelena.
manga, Yelena,
Manga.
whatever he says.
Potato.
Yep.
Marvel or Marvel.
We're gonna order them Eternals first, then Shang-Chi, Black Widow in terms of how good they were. They were all bad. That's exactly right. Eternals was best.
Shang-Chi and the Ten
Shang-Chi then
Bracelets.
Black Widow. Yep. Caroline Worthy, that's a perfect description. Let's see. Crickets for Boba Fett. Well, it's just started. Plus,
A certain couple would probably beat you down for that comment.
Right. Okay.
I enjoyed it. I saw it last week.
Haven't
It
watched
wasn't
it
bad.
yet.
Okay, so here's going to be hard. We're kind of turning into the final stretch here. Best comic book writer of 2021. Who has just been knocking this out of the park, hand over fist this year? Who's just been doing exactly what you need them to do?
Zdarsky.
Zdarsky for what would you say?
It's the Spider Shadow with Zdarsky, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's that one, his work on Justice League Last Ride, and his Red Hood story from Batman Legends, Urban
Okay.
Legends.
Okay, so Tehillim, of course, Tomasi for the Challenge of the Super Sons. Chip Zdarsky, Joshua Williams is Mr. DC Comics. Venkman, would you back that one up?
I would back Joshua Williamson because he's a new writer. This kid came pretty much out of nowhere, and they pretty much gave him his own little thing, just like Marvel gave Cates, and he proved that he can hold his own.
Yeah.
Now, for people who don't like multiverse stories like that, then I feel bad for you because you're missing out on a fun, something. oh wait, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Wonderdome is a close second though to Joshua Williamson.
Well, remember though, it's Mark Pellegrini. It's the writer.
Mark Pellegrini.
Oh, that's right. It's
right.
not even Tim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Tim.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark.
I mean, Tim probably adds a few ideas to it, but
He's like the guy. He draws and he's like, you got to write the words around this now because I'm in control. I'm the star.
yeah. No,
I'm the Stan Lee now.
I'll second
I'll do the writing.
I'll second or third Joshua Williamson for Robin. As I say, it's been fantastic. The other name I'm starting to see it pop up in the chat as well is Ram V. His Catwoman run was really good. The final couple issues weren't great, but I blame that more on him being forced to have to incorporate the future state nonsense into it.
And that he went over the Marvel too. So he's like Teeny Heart's coming in. Screw them. They're not getting my best. I'm leaving.
Yeah. But I mean, the whole thing of, and it'll be interesting to see who tries to pick up this character, but he introduced this character in Catwoman Father Valley, and tied it into all of the Azrael order stuff, and it was just a fantastic character or fantastic villain in there, because he basically gets hired as like the premier assassin to take down Selena, and kind of the way he goes about it. And then the annual, which I highly recommend picking up, basically kind of tells his backstory.
Yeah, since Ash is here to scream it at us, Robert Kirkman.
Yeah, Robert Kirkman, fireproof, y'all. Again,
Fireproof?
Firepower.
Firepower. Why would I say fireproof? Firepower. God,
How about you, evil black cat?
I've had coffee in like a week.
Huh?
How about you? Do you have somebody to add in?
I did say Zdarsky.
Zdarsky. That's
Yeah,
right.
he said Zdarsky.
Yeah. What is that? What did you say?
I didn't say yet. Robert Venditti. I mean, I've just 3-issue story. His Tankers story from Bad Idea Comics is fantastic. I mean, it's not like groundbreaking like Dark Knight Returns, but it's just a lot of fun and a lot of what I want to read in my comics. So yeah, Venditti, and then like he's got his DC stuff. I'm still hoping someone at DC wisens up and gives some Justice Society, but who knows?
Mark Pellegrini, I think. I agree. Tinian is being brought up by the Almighty Jack, Joshua Williams, by Ed Brubaker, of course, Eric Breen, who comes out with great stuff all the time. Daniel Warren Johnson from Indie Comics Jones. A lot of love for Tomasi as well, and Ram V is being brought up.
Scott Snyder over on Nocturna. Or Noctera. Or Nocturna or Noctera?
It's Noctera.
Okay.
Blanking on the writer's name, but Ranger Stranger from Scout Comics is hilarious. Very dark humor. Joshua Williams again, Ram V. So yeah, there's some good stuff.
Lots of love for Ram V.
Yeah.
Try to throw some indie names in there because we get a lot of Marvel DC writers.
Kennedy Johnson got me, like I said, he got me back into Superman, so I want to go over those issues that I missed. And so, yeah, I guess it's good to know there's some stuff out there.
Do you know what got me back into Superman? Jerry Ordway and John Byrne from the 80s.
I say Peter Tomasi got me back into it. Those Peter Tomasi issues I got from the auction.
Now, we all know that truly the greatest artist of all time is Tim Lim. So, but aside from him, who is your not aside from him, if he really is for 2021? Go yourself. Who do you think is the best artist of 2021? Get us started off there, LK, and I'll be right back because I gotta get my tea.
Okay. Starting off, Gary Andrews. As I said, amazing fantasy is just absolutely gorgeous to look at. I mean, every issue, just kind of the painted style that he used in that is just amazing and fantastic. And the other one, that I'd put up is, like go with Frank Cho. It was great to see Frank Cho kind of come back to his roots a little bit, drawing great, hilarious variant covers for Invincible Red Sonja and Fight Girls. I mean, it was a fairly standard story. I just finished the miniseries the other night.
Yeah.
But again, just gorgeous, classic Frank Cho art.
Just saw he's doing a cover for DC for the first time in how many years? And I think it's gonna be a Harley and Ivy.
Not sure. You know what? I think I did see him working.
So that's kind of cool seeing him. I'm like him getting more work, but
yeah.
For me, I'm trying to think. Like I said, it's between Dan Mora or what's the other one? Jorge Jimenez. They're both the Batman titles.
Mm-hmm.
Their art is just great, for action pose and all covers. They're just knocking it out of the park, no matter what company they're with. These guys put passion into it. Honorable mention would also be John Boy Myers. Remember him from the 2016 Teen Titans Rebirth? Fun guy, talk to, interaction to, and like I said, that's just the art. I'm trying to think, Zach, who else would you?
I say,
I'm not sure who's on the Flash, but I know he's on a good mention.
The guy
too.
who's on the Flash, he's good. I can't remember his name. I'm actually looking it up right now. Give me just a second. I would say Chris Samney.
Yeah, it's firepower.
His work is always really good. Christian Duce or Duce, Christian Duce, I think is the guy. DUCE. Yeah, he's on the Flash. His work is pretty good. But yeah, Chris Samney is really good. I just something about his work. I really dig it. It appeals to me.
For me, it's
go ahead.
Okay, for me, it's between Marco Ciccitos and Jorge Jimenez.
Marco Cicciotto is good too. Yeah.
On what books?
For Batman and for Daredevil.
Okay.
Like Cicciotto on Daredevil.
Cicciotto's great.
Cicciotto is pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll toss out one more name too that I think is doing great work this year, and that was Brett Booth. For me, it started out with the first 2 issues of X-Men Legends. I mean, it was 90s art, but it was refined and it was great. And then he's been doing some really good stuff in the Spawn universe. Some really nice covers, and I think he did the interiors on Gunslinger Spawn, I think it was. So you can tell his work is really picked up and really improved.
Windows warning sign. It's right here.
Alrighty.
Warning.
What we're getting is let's see, where did they go? Tie between Dan Jurgens, Blue and Gold, Robert Venditti on. Okay,
that was the last category, but still good choices.
Artists.
Yeah, those writers. So yeah,
I know. I'm trying to find the artist category here.
I don't think I think it starts with Miss
Perez always and forever, but my heart is still stuck in the 80s. Obviously,
yeah,
that goes without saying. Perez is awesome. Perez is probably my all-time favorite. Right after what's his name? Drew the freaking Hulk and X-Men in the 60s.
Jim Lee?
No, it'd be Eternals, Double Dinosaur, that guy. He's someday people will give him the respect he deserves.
King something? Something in the
Wait.
Are
you talking about Disney Legend?
Disney
Jack
Legend,
Kirby?
Jack Kirby. I think that deserves mocking as much as possible, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
When I heard them call him Disney Legend, Jack Kirby, go screw yourselves. It's holy crap. But then again, I get that way when I hear Carrie Fisher being referred to as a Disney princess. She was created freaking 50 years ago.
According to some people, are saying that Kate Bishop is a Disney princess now.
Nope. Disney didn't create her. Disney had nothing to do with it. Hiddleston's Loki, Disney princess.
Shuri.
All right. Yeah, right. Okay, let's go to the next, and we've got. This is for what we're talking about. This will be an easy one, and all I got to do is point right here. Best independent comic book. Doesn't matter if it's one shot miniseries or an ongoing. What is your favorite? Like, just name one. Let's not be all see about it. What is your one independent comic book? Don't say, "Oh, well, this is good, this is good, this is good." Man up and answer the damn question. Just one. All right.
Geiger.
So we got Geiger from Evil Black Cat.
Firepower
from Zach. We've talked about these a couple times. LK.
Comet America.
All righty. Wow,
I get mine tomorrow.
Venkman, what is the number one comic for you, independent wise, this year?
Well, one version of her has been by Tom Sinofsky, and that's Vincent Vampirella, and that's Vampirella in that book. It's been great for me.
All righty. And once again, I've vote the Stray Dogs. It just blew me away. I was so
Marani just said that.
Things get dog us all from Stray Dogs. Exactly. Tevi is bringing up The Last Ronin, Grim Fairy Tales from Jim Sorensen. And I got to tell you something, Skip. I thought Gun Honey is a bit of a disappointment after 3 issues. I just found out 4.
All right, you're removing the stream. Goodbye.
Sorry,
taking over.
It is. It's a.
I'm the England team now. Look at me.
I am the England team. I
I
shave
am
my
the
head.
captain now.
I shave my head. Give me a Twinkie. And Quinn is saying cereal. Yeah, some good stuff there. These are all very good suggestions as well. Not All Robots by AWA. Good stuff. Yeah, AWA is a pretty decent publisher, as a matter of fact. Bitter Root by David F. Walker, Chuck Brown, and Sanford Green. Not my cup of tea, but
Well, it must be better to you.
Yeah, mint tea is my cup of tea. But
Ooh,
yeah,
Eric coming in there and just.
I mean, I'm with E. Gun hunting was underwhelming. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, here's the thing. The first issue I liked. And I thought, okay, that's cool. You know, it is what it is. And then I realized there was going to be no more substance. It was all flash and style introducing us to the character. But then every issue was all flash and style introducing us to the character. Oh.
I disagree. Omar Jake saying something is killing the children, which he's been slabbing, showing off on the Discord server every time he gets one back.
Wait, what?
He's been getting something is killing the children, setting them off to be slabbed, and then he brags like, "Look, guys, I got them slabbed here. Now they're worth lots of money."
Okay.
He gets a 9.8s.
Yeah. Well, he did that thing. He bought like $500.
I know.
I think didn't he say it ended up being like $275 worth of number ones?
Jeez.
Yeah. My thinking though is, Almighty Jack, you may not have been the only person to do that. So the whole thing is scarcity versus.
The thing about Gun Honey though, that's only part 1. They're continuing it. It's not over.
They've got one issue.
No, they had
one issue. No, I mean, impress me in one issue. You know, two. Let's say give it 2 issues. I get it because sometimes, but no, I'm not going to give 2 miniseries before I decide on.
It's not. It's just not written for you, sir. That's all.
Yeah,
you're
it's
just too old to understand it.
You know,
you and Breen. Then again,
Right.
Breen doesn't read comic books. After
I'm sorry.
2012.
Let me describe a comic book to you and see if this book wasn't written for me. Okay, it's going to be an action book, but it's going to star a hot Asian chick who usually is wearing a bikini. Yeah, is there ever a book that is literally?
It's not for you because Gil said no.
That's true.
That book has me in the dedication. What are you talking about?
She said, "Put that back on the rack."
That's more for Dean Winchester than you.
Right.
Yeah.
House of Slaughter is overprinted, and I only did that for the Frisian cover to be slabbed. All righty. Okay, so there we go. Let's go on to the next one, which is, and this is going to be tough, guys. We got to dig deep, or actually, it might be real easy because there ain't a lot of them. Best Marvel comic of 2021.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
X-Men Legends.
X-Men Legends. The da-da-da-na-na-na X-Men makes a return.
I hope so. I've been picking them up and not reading them.
For as bad as I thought the ending was, I will still say Daredevil was their best book of the year.
Cantwell's Iron Man. It's just phenomenal.
Don't even. That's just no. There are some things you just don't even joke about.
Okay.
I'm not joking. I'm being serious. He's cosmic level now.
I'm gonna say Daredevil too. No, actually I take it back because Daredevil's gonna get enough love. I'm gonna say Black Widow.
And I'll second that.
Okay.
Yelena is in it too.
How about you, Evil Black Cat? What do you think is Marvel's best? Dun, dun. Remember to give EVS the Rose Tico cut of the Star Wars Disney sequels.
If he ever speaks, we might have a hat trick here.
Let's see.
I just can't believe nobody in the chat is saying Captain Marvel. I mean,
I know.
No, not even one.
I mean,
Hilltop
the arc where she left Rhodey because of
Venom.
something she saw in the future. I mean, come on,
right? Yeah.
Honestly, that was a good. I like that part there because she was actually about to become the Supreme Support. She hooked up with Doctor Strange. That was a good issue.
Lizzo should be the new Black Panther. Is that horse lady?
No, that's Aquafina.
Horse lady.
Yeah,
I'm
isn't
thinking
there-
What
about
are you trying to
Aquafina.
say here?
there's a horse lady rapper or something like that.
No,
You think she looks like a
Lizzo-
horse?
Lizzo is the 300+ pound flute singer. Well, it sounds more like caterwauling. I mean,
she
just
plays a
that
flute?
everybody tries to convince you is somehow good, and I do not get it at all. Well,
Okay.
except that it's all just political.
Did we do
Because
best new
she's
character
a-
already?
Yeah,
Sorry.
that wasn't part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't part of it.
Did we do best
Um,
new character of the year?
That wasn't part of it. It was yeah. We're almost done, as a matter of fact. Alrighty, there you
Thor
go.
was,
That's-
Mr. DC Comics' Thor was also interesting.
Thor was interesting. All
Donny
right.
Cates' Thor was still,
Okay. Oh,
is
and,
still pretty good.
She's a rape. Oh, rapper. Okay. Now I do know some people are saying the Beta Ray Bill miniseries was pretty good. So
That was pretty good.
All
That
right,
was
let's move
Daniel
on.
Warren Johnson.
What would you say is DC Comics' best comic after Superman, Man of Steel, or whatever it was called? I'm messing up my own joke. But you
Was
get
it
what
Legion of Superheroes?
I thought it was
Bendis?
Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah.
Is that what he meant to say?
Yeah, with Bendis and Rossimo.
Yeah.
Superman, last son of the family of Kents, because there ain't gonna be.
You sure
another.
that's not? I feel like it's written by son of Jor-El. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Superman, Jonathan killed the bloodline. I think that's the subtitle there. So, yeah.
Superman.
Jordan
Supergirl
will come
is
and
gonna-
save us all, save them.
Supergirl is going to carry on the family name.
But best, like actually when it's on a miniseries, because there's so many miniseries at DC right now.
He's not.
That should be a conversation. That should be a well, it's up to you, Kara, because forget it. I am not having children.
So we're going best
I am
comic
not
overall,
a breeder, honey.
not miniseries,
Now, let me
right?
borrow
Just
your
best
skirt.
comic.
The CGI
God.
would need to get her to do all the stunts would cost millions. Williamson Robin says,
Well, we're getting Swamp Thing by Ram V
Swamp Thing's pretty good.
by Skip Tosh.
You know what? I've given enough love to Stray Dogs, and I don't think it actually counts in this.
That's gross out of context.
I
Yeah,
said,
a little bit.
oh well, let me put it into
Get out from under the bridge, sir.
let me put it into context.
Not
for
the
you then,
donkeys.
okay?
The donkeys are jealous.
First of all, you have to understand you should never love your pets because they lose trust in you. Okay? Make the mistake once, never again. All right, so yeah, right. Challenge Super
That's
Sons by
what Will's
Tomasi.
supposed to mean.
I mentioned the Suicide Squad before. I'm gonna mention Batman Imposter because that was the one that really I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is awesome. It's really good. No, Darth Kato. Actually, I will shave them first. So it's just preference. It's just preference. I'm not saying.
Just get the cats. They're already hairless. Save yourself a step.
Well, cats, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why they call them what they do.
I'm gonna say Flash before I die choking on my own laughter.
But yeah, Batman Imposter. Batman Imposter is probably the thing that got me most excited. And then we got The Flash. Arkham City, The Order of the World by Dan Waters was pretty good, says Homness.
I'm gonna back up Marania. Saying the best DC comic right now is Blue and Gold.
Okay.
I don't care if it's a miniseries. It's awesome.
I agree with Dominic. Crime Syndicate for DC Comics and Hellions for Marvel.
Yep,
Mighty
done.
Morphin for Best Independent. Yeah.
I've been saying it all night. Robin.
The fucking...
Angleteen's peanut butter bill must be really apparently sky high. It's confirmed, says Marania.
Yeah.
Oh no! You don't use so much. I mean, you want them to get in there really quick. So yeah.
As long as you're using Mobile One.
Well, dude, can we stop joking about this? Because I will one up you guys every freaking time. I will find a way to one up you, and this show will get cut down. I don't care what story you hear from Weaponized Nerd Rage or anything else. Trust me, I can be far grosser than anybody.
I'm just saying it's funny because you have the dog still in the background.
Yeah, damn straight, they're sexy. So Mr. DC is basically saying everything. Action Comics was the first thing he listed, but I think he was doing it in nope.
Oh yeah, the animated series Adventures Continue.
Oh,
Yeah,
Batman. Yeah, good stuff.
And I speedy recovered to Ty Templeton, who beat cancer, or he's on his way. He's in remission right now.
Is he really? Oh, that's awesome. I hadn't heard.
Yeah.
Dominic, we're forgoing the
hospital.
award show part of it. We're just doing what did you think was best. We're having a conversation because the audience participation stuff has not been going very well. So I figure, okay, let's just have a conversation.
We're talking about the best Spirit comic books by Will Eisner.
And so we come to the very last topic, which is overall 100%. What was your favorite comic book of the year? And I will just sound like a broken record. So there you go. All right.
Geiger again.
Geiger, the number one comic book, just one. This is, once again, we're not, oh, and I love this one, this one, this, and this one. No, just one. You got to man up. This is the one.
Not ongoing. Just one issue?
Yeah. No.
Oh,
It could
okay.
be a title or a one shot, a mini series, whatever.
Then I'll say The Walking Dead Deluxe.
Walking Dead Deluxe? Oh, okay. All righty.
There's a Green Deluxe.
That's it. That's the
I
winner.
just got a DM. Evil Black Cat, eat hot death. Okay, so there we go.
That's
Miss
the
Mo was
winner.
saying, Mom.
I am saving the death for Breen.
All right.
Almighty Jack saying something's killing the children. Tevia saying Challenge of the Super Sons for the whole entire year. Miss Mo saying Mom, just
But
kidding.
she's just kidding. Yeah.
Maranya.
Maranya, the
Yep.
mini deaths of Lila Starr from. I've heard good things about that.
Static Shock. Rhaegar, I hope you're kidding.
Right, yeah, he is. Nobody liked that.
Yep.
Somebody did.
Yeah, Vita Ayala was like, "This sucks. He's not gay."
Yep. With all,
There he goes.
Action
Yo.
Comics is the first one Mr. DC Comics brought up. So there
Wow.
we go. You picked one.
He's sounding more and more like Dalton there. He's getting into like the old
know,
school.
I know.
Yeah.
The old William Shakespeare is coming
And
out of him.
Sweet Paprika.
His
from-
current memory is fading, so he's going back to his old languages.
Oh, is that how it works? Okay.
Yep. And
I
with
like
all due respect to Tim, I said it earlier, Robin's
Robin's your number one.
just in terms of consistent and a surprise that it's coming out of the big two.
I'm gonna stick with an indie book. I'm gonna stay what I've already said several times, which is Firepower. It's one
Firepower.
of the few books that I feel genuinely excited about whenever a new issue comes out, which is a rare thing.
I kind of wish mine wasn't a mini series though. Mine. I mean, I've got the trade. I've read it. Okay. It is kind of nice when you have an ongoing series as your favorite book. But I got to tell you something. I was thinking about this. I haven't been in 2 weeks. Granted, I was sick, and then Christmas. I'm not in a hurry to go back and pick them up. Go figure. As far as the new stuff is concerned, they actually put out a Green Arrow Aquaman book, and I was like, yeah, it was okay. But they had them not in character, and I'm tired of that. I want to see Green Arrow and Aquaman know each other, so it wouldn't be Aquaman wouldn't come rushing in the form of Green Arrow, asking Green Arrow what he did to make them switch bodies, because he would know that Green Arrow wasn't smart enough to make something that made them switch bodies. So there was I don't know. There was just something weird. It's just with the big two, there seems to be a disconnect. I don't know. But as far as I really did, the one book that truly got me excited was this one. The other, I can't say because that was my rule. All righty. I'm Not Batman is the best book of the year because it helped me stop buying new DC and Marvel.
Oh my
Non-stop
gosh.
Spider-Man's so great that it stopped.
Rhaegar says, runner-up, United States of Captain America, or I Am Not Starfire. Pure quality.
Pure quality. Yep.
Ta-Nehisi Coates is
Even in the
Captain
best,
America
we
run.
got to talk about the worst. Isn't that weird? So there you go. Read Robin and Action Comics only, and your faith will be restored. Yep. Well, I is once again, DC has Suicide Squad. DC has also the I Am Not the Batman Imposter miniseries that came out. So yeah, there's some good stuff out there. All righty, gang. We just spent 2 hours talking about the best comic books of 2021. Anything you're looking forward to that's coming out?
More of the Batwoman who laughs.
The Batman. So that's a no.
I gotta get to my LCS actually. I've got some Devil's Reign issues that are backed up over there, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to Donny Cates' Hulk series. I'm actually curious to see where that goes. I'm not normally a big Hulk fan, but I like Ryan Otley's work on the book, and I kind of like this new direction Cates looks like he's taking them in.
I don't look forward to anything, and I haven't looked at previews in 3 months.
The Batman, the Sean Gordon Murphy's Batman Beyond White Knight. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that too.
Do you know what I look forward to every week?
Getting up in the morning?
Our readings and Jeopardy. Even more than the auction, which actually is how I get paid. Our readings and our comic book Jeopardy. That is something. Oh man. Okay, I almost blocked Blind Wet, but I was like, okay, he looks like one of those
Last compliment we ever get from him.
Yeah. I'll throw in the Chris Claremont Gambit series. Really excited and curious about that. And then I forgot that Fables is coming back in 2022. So I think it's going to be like around mid-year, I believe, is when that's coming back.
Fingers crossed.
Noctera comes back, I think, tomorrow or the day after, depending on where.
And I think Kirkman
Well, it's Blacktop Bill. That's a one-shot.
Yeah, and then didn't Kirkman get rights? Like he's going to be able to make like G.I. Joe or Transformers comics now? Was that Robert Kirkman? I'm kind of curious about that.
I don't know, but I was going to quickly mention there's 2 series I just started reading. The first 2 issues have come out just in the last 2 months. One is called Cross to Bear, which is basically about a guy who is part of a secret order in London to combat supernatural and bad things, and he goes to the Old West to track down Jack the Ripper.
Ooh.
And it's,
wow!
and it's
Don't tell me that. I passed that one up.
And it's set in the 1880s. And I got a chance over the weekend to read the first 2 issues, and it was fan-freaking-tastic. And then the other one that I picked up the first issue and fell in love with is a book called Knighted. So 2 issues have come out so far. This is set in a world where some event happened and like 500 million, I want to say they said like 500 million people around the world died, and like 5% of the people got powers. And so there's a Batman-like character who's a real jerk and a-hole, and there's a schlebby accountant or police forensics guy, and he winds up accidentally killing the Batman and winds up having to take his place.
Okay. Oh, and speaking of jerks and a-holes, my brother ended up being the new score leader in Jeopardy. So if you guys haven't started watching the Jeopardy tournament and such that we've got going on, every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's Jeopardy with the geek culture. Tons of fun. You guys should have seen it. It was like the color of money last night. Oh my gosh. I thought I didn't know he was going to do so well. And he comes in, he's like, well, I'm just here to get my ass whipped. Okay, he's like, I got bamboozled. This was wrong. It's like Ingleteen switching in for Pixel. Go figure, man. What I think is funny is exactly what happened. It's what I said, man. Because if you watch the show, for the first 20 minutes, he's just sitting there. Me, no. And then like he gets one, and I told you it's like you can see his brain synapses. Okay, I got the answer. And then it's like Y'all suck. Ha ha ha. Yeah, he's
Marania, put the scores in the Twitter DMs so he doesn't forget.
Oh, me? I've got him on paper somewhere around here.
Because you were saying she had 10,000. She has 10,800 for Jack, and then she has 8,900.
8,900.
No,
Yeah.
Jack has 10,700. He didn't bid that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was that.
Right.
Unless she's incorporating that in. 'Cause, actually, I gotta change mine for the best independent book from Vampirella to Chariot. That was by Brian Andre Hill. That was a great 1 through 5 first start. It has been optioned for a movie, so get it now while you can. Decent book though. I got the trade for like what 10 something. It's Image, remember?
Yeah.
So you get the great deal on the first volume.
Yeah.
It is great. Just like I want to say synthwave, but it's like the style and everything felt like I was, a combination of Knight Rider and like Matrix.
Now, I do want to talk about, and I do want to kind of push the other shows just a little bit. And we're talking about scores and such with the Jeopardy. Nerdy Texan, I believe, is going to be next with
Black Cat.
Yeah, Black Cat and someone else. Now, Black Cat, this is going to be your third, right?
Second.
Second. Okay, yeah. One of the problems with Nerdy Texan was that he did 2 right in a row. I was hoping to be able to do 3. We might actually go one more. I'm gonna try to find a bigger prize. I think there's this has turned into something. People are actually, oh wow, that's kind of cool. Let's play this. And it's a lot of fun. So definitely it's open to anyone. So if you're a viewer and you're like, wait a second, can anyone play? Yes. So long as you've got a working mic, that's all we ask.
Almighty Jack says he thinks he needs to go second now.
Okay. Next, I think we've got an open spot. So about works.
But just remember, guys, you guys can say that you want to play, but if you don't show up, you don't play.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
So don't say you want to play if you don't show up to play.
People have lives. People have lives. So
no one has lives here. That's why they're watching you.
Hey, to yourself, sir.
That tracks. So okay. Anyway, you kids have a great time. Thanks for hanging out with us, talking about good comics this time. If you want to hear what we think are the crappiest comics, we got the live stream somewhere in the video section. Just look for 2020 worst. You know how to do it. You've been on social media before.
Also, letting people know, this week's auction coming up on Saturday is going to be on Old Man Comics.
Old Man Comics. Yep, we're going to
go hit that bell and subscribe.
We're going to switch some of the live streams up. And
what about is there a reading this Friday? Is there a book that we're reading? Is there a certain team?
Justice League.
Brouhaha.
The brouhaha. The Giffen verse. We're going to start. We're going to do that. So once again, if you have a working mic, come on in, join us.
Is it the issue with Guy Gardner gets punched?
No, that's issue.
Well, that's not the first issue.
3 or something like 4.
I don't care. I just want to read it though.
Yeah.
Because in the first issue, you've got
oh
like
my
7
gosh.
characters.
I'm loving the personality because of him. Because I guess like same around time is when was it late 80s when they did that the Bruja.
Yep, mid to late 80s.
Yeah, because Invasion has the same kind of guy. Just basically didn't tell me to shut up every single time he's in there. I love it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Black Canary and Guy Gardner.
One more time.
40 minutes from now, okay, guys.
See us once again. We'll figure something out. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Thank you very much. If you don't mind helping out the channel, going over to Ko-Fi. Link is in the description below. Thank everybody who's already done that. To everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.